You know, I met a lady recently, and we were talking for a long time, and it dawned on her, she said to me, I realised that I'm always angry. It just dawned on her that she's always angry. She's ready to pounce, to lash out, always angry. And then the more we talked, the more it became apparent that she's been carrying, I'm not a psychotherapist or anything like that, but she's been carrying so much on her shoulders. And I said to her, imagine carrying 3 suitcases on your head and walking around with these heavy suitcases, and just someone comes up to you and says, hi, how are you, in the nicest possible way. You bite them up, you bite their head off. Hence the anger all the time, lashing out at everything because you're carrying so much load. So everything that we do, whatever load that we're carrying, it will impact and manifest itself in how we communicate, how we work, how we relate to people. People being people who we work with, our partners at home, our children, everyone, everything. So it really, what you're going through emotionally, psychologically, and everything else has a way of shaping what you put out there. I think, anyway.
Yeah, I've got a really good friend of mine, Anna Strozek, and she works with people to do with their binge eating or poor eating habits and that sort of feast or famine style dieting. And it's really interesting. We should engage her at some point, where she says that people binge quite often and they carry weight to sort of cover the hurt, and again, people who, you know, quite often down on the shoulder is because they're carrying so much of baggage.
We all carry baggage. We all carry baggage, but I think we deal with it in so many different ways. There's some people who just, like, the baggage just keeps getting more and more and more. And there's some people who have found a way of recognizing when that weight is getting heavy, and then finding a way to shed it or to release it. Being self-aware is so important. Being self-aware is so important. We were meant to meet earlier today. I was just like, oh my God, got to get the kids up, and it's half term. You were waiting for me. I was half an hour late or whatever. And I was already stressing. But oh my goodness, Karen, you were just chilled. You know, you were just chilled. Sometimes we put these things on ourselves. So we should be very self-aware.
Again, it's a book that you won't have read.
No.
That I shall share with you.
Yeah. Now you should give me the executive summary.
So the book, The Power of Now, talks about how we only have the now. Because the past is the past, and the future hasn't yet become the now. But wherever we are at any point of time is the now. So when we talk about the past, it was now at the time. And when we talk about the future, it will be now when we get there. And so there's this beautiful thing that he says, that when he's waiting for anybody, it never bothers him. And he sits, and when they come and he says, thank you, yes, I was just waiting. Because how beautiful and how lucky are we that we have the time to wait. So rather than wait, getting irritated, you know, I don't even get uptight in a traffic jam anymore, especially having read that book, because I think, gosh, yeah, how fortunate. And that really, really hit me actually at Easter time, when I had a really bad sinus infection. Do you remember? In fact, our first time that we were here and filmed our first discussion, I was just coming out the other side of it. I mean, I don't know how I got through that without coughing. But that was definitely willpower. But I remember having to go to a local pharmacy to get the antibiotics, and being in a queue for 45 minutes, feeling quite shocking, on Easter Sunday, but being stood there thinking, how lucky am I that I'm in a queue outside a pharmacy, being able to get the medication that I need, and how fortunate am I to be able to be here to wait. I'm not about to be bombed. The medication is in there, I just need to wait for it. There are people in front of me who are probably even more needy than I am. And it was just one of those moments where the power of now, that particular book, really struck me because, and being honest, it probably was triggered by a momentary thought of, I've got to wait kind of thing. And that triggered me to go, how lucky am I to wait?
I don't know if I can, but now that's something I should read. I think that is so powerful and resonates so much now, because there are, what I do is, so you were in the cafe, quite comfortable, nice environment, waiting for me, not sweating the small stuff. I was running late, freaking out, thinking, oh my God, I'm keeping this woman waiting. In Nigeria, we say, I'm drinking paracetamol for your headache.
Yeah.
Or, you get what I'm saying?
I know exactly
you know
what I mean. Yeah. You're feeling the pain.
For something that, you know, you're not sweating, so I'm sweating for you on your behalf. You didn't ask me to, and you're not bothered. And that's really something that I want to learn to do more of. Be in the now. Again, it's something I try to consciously try to remind myself, don't sweat the small stuff, be in the now, be grateful, you're here. And I, of all people, should really be able to do that, because I will go to either a facility in Esan or J or Zingwagolaga, and I see in a developing country how people live, and I should be like, you know what, it's not that bad. Just be now, be grateful and be in the moment. But it's hard, because I've been wired from childhood to just go. But I have to learn that, and I think that's such a skill that I admire in you. The fact that you just like, yeah, how you know, how great is it that I'm stood on this queue? I mean, who says that? Who does that, Karen? It's only a nutter like you that would do that. You know, I'm grateful and being in the moment. I think it's beautiful.
And it's books like The Power of Now that like really make you sense check and think. And to your point, that self-awareness, we never stop learning.
No.
And some people don't even open to learning it, to be perfectly honest. But it's such a powerful, empowering feeling when you can just sit with it.
Self-empowering, you know? It's,
you should get it on audio.
Yeah, now that I would.
Because audio, I mean, audio is my lifeline, because you know how much time I spend in the car.
Yeah.
And and quite often I'll read a book, as I say, listen to the book 3 times, where I'll rewind chapters just to really get that moment
again.
And actually, I mean, as you know, it wasn't only yesterday I did my A-levels, but when I did my A-level English, and even my English in those days, for anybody who knows what a tape is, I used to have my Sony Walkman and actually listen to books. Yeah, and that's how I did my A-level English, really. I always used to be the one to put myself forward to read the book in class, out loud to the class. But, you know, listening to the actual play of The Tempest, listening to Richard Burton read me Under Milk Wood, you know, listening to Kill a Mockingbird, like listening to them, that for me to be able to really visualise, then it empowered me and enabled me to write what I needed to write for the exams. So for those of us that are more sort of slightly creative visual and not quite so needing the written word, although I'm fortunate I can do both. My enjoyment comes because when I'm reading, as I just said, I'd rewind a chapter. When I'm reading, I have to read a book. Sometimes I read a page 10 times to get the visual that I really want, which can take a while to read a book like that.
But still, just whether it's because you read a book, because some people can read a book, get the points that the book is trying to get across, but implementing it is another thing. You tend to read a book or listen to a book and actually, yes, this is something that I consciously would like to adopt in myself, would like to take on, and then you do it. So being present, being in the now and being grateful for the now, I think that's the biggest takeaway for me. It's kind of made me a little bit just
calm a moment.
Calm me down a bit. I'm just thinking, wow. And I'll always remember the queue. You standing on the queue and you're not feeling great, but you're stood there saying, you know, how fortunate am I to just be stood here when people in front of me or behind me might be going through worse. I mean, again, who does that? That it's just.
I mean, I had a situation back in September, I think it was last year. So I'm guardian to 2 Chinese boys at Josh's school, and the elder boy was going to CERN in Switzerland, and he needed to be at the school at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I picked him up from London, where he was staying with his mother, to take him back to mine, which is closer to the school. And it just so happened we ended up in that horrendous closure on the M4 for 6 hours. So I picked him up at 4, and we actually got home at nearly 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And I said to him, just go to sleep in the car. And I put one of my books on, and I just listened to it, and I just thought, what can I do? There's nothing I can do. Again, how fortunate that I'm actually here, I'm able to drive, I'm not the person in the accident, you know, I'm the person back here, and it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it, so why stress about something that I have absolutely no control over? And I literally took that complete Zen moment and then got up at 4 o'clock to take him to school after 3 hours sleep. But it's that's not about, you know, that's about just taking time sometimes and looking at the better part of what you're experiencing rather than the worst. Comes back to the no. Don't look at the no, look at the not yet.
Yeah, but it all links together. It's not yet, it's not right now. You know, just be in the now. It's okay. And again, I stress the fact that we may hear these things and know these things, but actually putting it into practice. Because I was saying to him, I was at Heathrow yesterday, just dropped off one of our staff members who came here for training for 10 days or whatever it was. And it was her first time leaving Africa, first time into Europe, first time into the UK. And it was fascinating looking at things through her eyes. The more I looked at things through her eyes, the more I felt like just be grateful and live in the now.
And obviously her name actually works towards that as well. Because
absolutely.
All that time you had faith.
I had faith.
Quite literally.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, when you think what she does for you and how she manages things in Africa,
just fantastic.
You have faith in faith.
I have faith in faith. Yeah, absolutely. Names mean a lot, actually. Names, we believe that your name does follow you. Like Shalom means peace, and I'd like to think I'm a very peaceful person. Might be a bit of a nutter sometimes, but you know.
You can have a nutty piece.
Yeah, I like nutty piece. That's it. So yeah. Wow. I like that. For me, it's about living in the now.
Yeah. It's important to live in the now.
Live in the now. And I absolutely love how you are. Honestly, living in the now.
Thank you.
It's kind of just stopped me in my tracks a little bit of just, yeah. We have to.
And it's all about
there's so much noise. You know, and we worry about so much, and oh my God, we stress about so much. If we just say, I'm living for the moment, I'm living in the house, yesterday is gone, tomorrow can take care of itself. I'll just live in the now and do what I can.
And the anxiety doesn't get us anywhere.
It does nothing.
And quite often we worry about things that aren't even going to be there to worry about. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but it was that, you know, today's the day we worried about yesterday and all is well.
You come, Karenisms. I love Karenisms. Wow. Yeah.
So, and now you have to get off.
Yes, I do.
To an important appointment.
I do as always.